Thank you, Mark. Yeah, we are open for question answer with Deputy Commissioner Mr. Rolfe. Um, so just to begin, let me ask one question then myself. As we are looking forward, hopefully looking forward to put the COVID in our rear view mirror, what city DOT is projecting as ridership, and what particular planning you are doing?
Yeah, thank you, Ramesh. That is the question of the day, of something that lots of folks are thinking about. And I am joined here by my colleague, Rich Andreski, Chief of our Public Transportation Bureau. I'll kick it off and then I'll turn it to Rich. There have been many studies. I think McKinsey Group has conducted a study. The best thinking is that it's going to take a period of years. I know anecdotally we see that leisure travel has already picked up substantially, but until business and office buildings open up across the board, I don't think we're going to see a full recapture of ridership. But in terms of our planning, we are planning for that eventual return. I think we do see it in some different ways. There's still great interest in transit-oriented development at some of our station stops. That's indicative of the economics of transit and the way people see the future of transportation around the country. Rich, do you want to add anything?
That's right, Mark. We want to define success going forward, not strictly on number of peak period riders. Many years ago, Metro North was known as the Metro North Commuter Railroad. Commuter was dropped from their name some time ago, and that was a recognition of the shift that's been underway. We see rail in the future as an all-purpose transportation mode. Folks are using it to get to college, educational opportunity. Local travel in Connecticut has recovered most strongly and quickly. One other observation, real estate is very hot here in Connecticut, the residential market. And what we're seeing is individuals that wanted to live very close to New York. Now, if they only need to commute a couple of days a week, they're able to resettle in places that maybe weren't commutable before. But if they're doing it 2 days a week, it's now tolerable.
Yeah, and thank you very much. I've got a question here, which is, I think other speakers also received the same kind of question before. Now, after this, the infrastructure bill, federal infrastructure bill has been passed, what kind of effect do you foresee for the New England Railroad transportation or New England Railroad infrastructure? In particularly, what kind of capital investment or capital project you think would be affected in Connecticut?
Yeah, that is the question of the day. And it's the question we've been pondering for many months now. Even before there was an infrastructure bill, there was talk of a stimulus program. And so we began thinking along those lines, as I said, many months ago. I think we're fortunate in Connecticut in that we've had some planning studies underway for a while. The Time for CT program is a comprehensive program. It's got phased implementation, potential tied to it. As I mentioned during the presentation portion, only part of it is funded. It's a $10 billion program. About the first $2 billion or so fits within our pre-existing capital program. The remaining portions of it are unfunded, and we're hopeful that the increased funding levels and the grant programs within the infrastructure bill will help to fill that out.
Yeah, thank you. Good answer. Good question there. I have one more. I think we're a little bit short on time, but one or two at the most. The one more question from Mr. Diego Cardona. He asked, does the C-35 program contemplate introducing or preparing the field for high-speed trains in NEC?
Rich, you want to take that?
You are a new.
A time for CT is geared to the near term, right? It's a 10-year, a little bit more than a 10-year plan. We will be undertaking with our partners at Amtrak and the Northeast Corridor Commission a more transformational look at even higher speeds. So this plan is not the end of the vision. This plan is a roadmap for the next 10 years or so. And certainly we are not giving up on even more, faster, higher speeds above 110, maybe 125, or even up to 150 mile an hour service. That's on the horizon.
I think we have time for only one more question. Last question I'm going to ask here. I'm going to read from Mr. John Madden. He writes, concerning the 18 plus hybrid locomotives, the ALP 45DP is shown in the presentation. The ALP 45DP can go to Penn Station, but not into Grand Central, which requires DC third rail. Is CTDOT looking at tri-power loco, that is diesel AC catenary and DC third rail, or diesel AC catenary battery power into Grand Central Station?
Mark, that sounds like one. Maybe I should take that one.
Yeah.
So yes, we are looking at new innovative locomotive technology. The question of whether a tri-mode is possible is something that we're considering. However, there are a number of factors we need to consider, including close clearances in the Park Avenue tunnels into Grand Central. We have lots of close clearances and weight restrictions on a number of bridges throughout Connecticut. So not only are we looking for a type of locomotive that's suitable for our operational need, but it has to be compatible with our infrastructure. But our plan is, yes, and someday to get to an electric system, an electric rail system, and battery powered locomotives are something we're paying attention to. Long Island Railroad is experimenting right now with those.
Thank you. I think we are done with the time here, unfortunately. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you, both of you, supporting our program here. I will give the forum to the next session. Thank you. Have a great day then.